I'm here for another rant. Let's talk about perspective. Make sure you hit that like button below and subscribe below and hit that like comment below what you think. Let's talk about differing perspective for a minute. I got this on my mind, so I'm speaking. Everybody has different perspectives on life. Every perspective people can learn from it. It doesn't matter what it is. So let's talk. This one thing, I'm not like doing it. I don't like breaking it down by race but we find ourselves having to do this because people pretend that their race is like don't never do no wrong, and the other one is just picking on them for no reason. Okay, first of all, if you did with the crime, you have to do the time. You got nothing to do with. I'm getting off track here. Tell my perspective, but I guess this has something to do with perspective. Let's talk about spiritual perspective. It should govern everything because it comes first before everything else. Let's break it down for those black Christians out there who call themselves Christians. What does the Bible say? What's the Bible's perspective on certain situations, on how you should come out of a situation? Not what you personally think, not what you personally morally think, but what does the Bible say? Because it is God who creates morals, not you. You are not the creator of morals. It is God. He is the one who decides what's right and wrong. Not you, not your friends, not your mama, not your daddy, not your grandfather, not your ancestors, but God. He created everything, even the moral standings for which we stand. That being said, there is a right perspective and a wrong perspective. Now, if you choose to take that wrong perspective, that is your plight. But let's start how I got mine. Long time ago, when I was young, still a kid, I could have thought about 1,000 excuses on why my life wasn't where it's supposed to be. And every time I thought of one, God showed me that there was someone who got over it, leaving me without an excuse. That's where most people will find themselves, without an excuse. No matter how many victimhood excuses they have come up with, no matter how many people they cry out in the field of wilderness about, they're going to be left without an excuse. Because somebody who went through somewhat similar situation they did came out with a different perspective than they did and came out on top. And they're going to be like, why didn't you do what he did? And you're going to be like, you may say to yourself, well, I'm not them. Of course you're not them, but you could have made the same choice as them. But you chose to hang on and cling on to bitterness. You chose to hang on and cling on to hatred. Well, you don't know what my life's been like, people say. You don't know what the other person's life been like either. So, technically speaking, both in the same boat. There's plenty of people that were in your boat that got off that boat and got in the better boat. You the one still sitting in the same boat with more holes in it than you had when the story started. I send you people for a reason. To tell you stories, to tell you of their experience of how they got past it, but you reject them because they didn't come from your same background, or they didn't come from your same neighborhood, or they didn't they didn't experience what you experienced exactly, so you just dismissed them because they didn't experience what you experienced. But they don't have to, because God sent them to you to talk to you about their experience and how they got over it, got past it, so that you can get a better life and you and I ain't without an excuse. Be without an excuse. With time, account for it. Many in the world excuses the world has will be thrown out, leaving them without an excuse. Is it really being important to be right? No, not in the long run. I mean, you're only right if you have God. Your vindication will come in the Lord. When you're walking through life, in this life, ask yourself a few questions. Who's actually living according to the Bible and who's not? What does the Bible say is right? What does the Bible say is wrong? Those who support what is wrong is just as wrong as those who do what is wrong. Like, it's just as simple as that. You come to question why people put you in the box with the rest of the bad eggs, because you don't stand up against the bad eggs who are doing wrong when you protesting, and then when your protest goes wrong, it turns into a chaotic right, and you're like, why is everybody throwing me in with the bad eggs? Because you didn't speak up against those who were doing wrong. Instead, you give excuses for them, and you're just as guilty as them. In the eyes of the Bible, you are just as guilty. Don't give excuses. These things should not turn into riots. If you want a peaceful protest, they shouldn't turn into riots. But when you let people who want to be rowdy and let their emotions take credence over the right thing, turning your motives for your protest into chaos and destruction. Remember, this isn't a race war. But you Christians need to remember that this is not, we don't fight, our battle is not with flesh and blood, but the principality of the evil one. We are not fighting white people, we are not fighting black people, we are fighting the devil. He's going to send some things in our lives that seem unfair. He might even send haters to make it seem. But you need to let God stop letting bitterness and unforgiveness hinder your perspective on life. You're not surrounded by racists. You want to believe that racism will exist in this world because the devil exists in this world. But racism, you can either do two things with racism. You either be a part of it or be separate of it. And what those who are part of it add to it by being racist themselves. Or they can be apart from it and treat everybody the same. See, the best way to beat racism is with love, not with more racism, not with more preconceived notions, stereotypes, prejudgments. You don't hold a conversation with somebody. You don't know nothing about what they're like. You don't know if they're racist or not. That is the common law. Never judge. Again, you condemn someone as a racist without even talking to them first. That makes you a racist. Judging people by the color of their skin and not by the contents of their character makes you just as bad as they are. If you think they are racist, then you just as bad as one. I have this bad habit of generalizing people, but the moment it happens to us, we get in our feelings. Which I've been doing it. Both sides been doing it. I don't know why they pretend like, oh, we don't do that. It was just them. No, we both do that. We're both guilty of the same crime of generalizing people in the same box. White people do this. White people do that. The moment the white person says, oh, all black people do this. All black people do, they are racist. So what does that make you? Just as racist if that was the case. You gotta correct them. Not all black people are just ignorant. Okay? Not all white people are just ignorant. Not all Mexican people are just ignorant. Not all Asian people are ignorant. There are ignorant people in the world. You don't need to add to the ignorance. There's ignorant cops. There's ignorant judges. There's ignorant juries. Ignorance can have any occupations, but you don't need to add to the ignorance. You have everybody. We hear stories all the time about somebody having what they believe to be a racist moment. A moment of police brutality or a moment of injustice, systematic racism. Most of these stories are not systematic because it has nothing to do with government. Some of them do. Most of them are not government. I mean, nowadays most of it's not government; it's individual, and it's barely begin iffy, and that amounts to it's a black person and a white person, so therefore racism has to be a part of it. I made a joke way earlier in life. I said black people got that race card, racism on a speed dial. That was like 15 years ago, way before Trump even got into office. Or even thought of going. So they got we get racism on speed dial. Quick to call something racist. And wondering, why he didn't go through? Because God ain't stupid. Not everything's racist. God sees everything. You know this, right? He's in control of everything. He made it. Let me tell you something. There were those lemonades. You gotta let God turn it into lemonade. And if you don't let God turn it into lemonade, then what happens after the aftermath is on you. That is on your fault. If you're too impatient to wait for him to turn into lemonade, you can't let. And if you get better before he can turn into lemonade, you end up with bad lemonade and bad tasting lemonade. And nobody wants to taste bad tasting lemonade. You can come out of a situation with a perspective that you're supposed to come out with, or you can have one that you're not supposed to come out with. Sometimes you're put in situations and you're supposed to learn something, but then you let yourself get better because of the situation you find yourself in, and then you don't learn what you're supposed to learn, and you learn the wrong thing. That's your fault that you had learned something that was wrong. You need to pray on it. Okay, first of all, one thing you need to remember, God said that you are not the tail but the head. You're the head and not the tail. And you're supposed to remember that, because that's what Christians are supposed to believe. And you got black Christians over here telling everybody that they're the tail and not the head. They're always the tail. They're always the tail. No matter what, they're always a tail. No, you are not. God does not bless you just as much as He blesses you. And y'all over here voting for people who want to hinder your success by taxing you to death because you think that you're going to get some of the money. You're not going to get none of that money. It's going to go to the ones who want it the most and those who benefit from it the most, and that is the politicians. They're the ones that take money out of your pocket and make you on evil all on. I think being on even level is gonna be good for everybody. It's everybody on even level. Why is everybody gotta be poor for you to get up on life? You're not gonna get nowhere in life if everybody was on the same plane. You're just gonna be continuously poor for the rest of your life. And if you do get above, you end up being taxed to death and put right back in your place in the poor down because you ignorant. Too ignorant to realize what's really going on here. You give crybabies and ignorant people a microphone and they show off their ignorance and ignore the intelligent people and vilify the intelligent people of the group because someone says that this is stupid. Taxing the rich don't help the poor. It doesn't. Because the poor has this misconception that if you tax the rich that they're going to get the money. They're not. They're not going to get the money because that's not how it works. The rich do not make enough money to keep up with the amount of money the government is spending. 1% is not a lot of money. Because they also have this under misconception that only white people are rich, which is stupid and racist. I don't know who told them only white people had. What about all the NBA players who make millions of dollars a year? What about all the rappers who make millions of dollars a year? You forgot about those people. Those people don't count. You got Cardi B over here complaining about having to pay a lot of taxes. That's their fault. You don't want to vote for people who want to hike your taxes up to the all these dumb, ignorant, rich people who vote for these, who advocate for some of these dummies who want to jack up your price, your money, jack up your taxes because they're so blinded by what they're saying. Oh, we're going to do all of these so-called good stuff. I call it so-called because it's just smoke and mirrors. It's something they can't actually do. They don't have the money. The government doesn't have money of its own. You have to tax people to get it. This is what people don't understand. The government does not have no money. Okay, it can't produce its own money. It gets money from the people, like you and I, the average working people who have jobs. And they tax the crap out of them. Okay? They're going to tell you, oh, we're not going to tax them. We have no choice. Where else are going to get the freaking money from? They're lying straight to your face. And they lying straight to your face. Every punches you nothing but lie. And yet you sit there and believe them like they telling the God all the truth. And you know dang on where they lie to your face. Every year they lie to your face. And then they do it year after year after year. And you keep believing them. Get on the news because the news, you think the news is your friend. The news ain't do nothing but lying to you. When it comes to politics, that is. Let's be specific. When it comes to politics, they do not tell the truth. Okay? Anything else, maybe. They don't skew the truth about that. We see through time, the history. You ain't got to look too far. To me, he has had history of not doing their homework and jumping to conclusions, or even flat out lying because they don't like the person, leaving out details that disrupt their narrative that they're trying to build. They did the Michael Jackson. They did the Richard Jewell. Anybody they want to find guilty, that would smear all over the news network, having everybody believe he's guilty. Oh, yeah, we've changed. We haven't done the same thing. Always done. Vilifying people for your own gain. Hold on a minute. I'm going on the long ass rant because this is ridiculous. But we're talking about perspective. Oh, this lands in the real perspective, the news perspective. They been vilifying people for years. People they don't like. People that don't agree with them. No matter what it is, they've been vilifying people for years. Everybody thinks that they got the answers. They have moral superiority. They're self-righteous. They're not worse than a self-righteous person. Somebody who thinks of themselves as good. Come to find people who also think of themselves as good. That they're good, but speaking, that doesn't make them good. You can find a tree by its fruit, not by what he says out of his mouth. Anyway, I've said enough. I think I've been exhausted what I need to get off my chest. This is Love Knows Best, signing out.